guys that I really want to get on the airwaves now. Right. So we met these guys down at Milktray Motivation, the last one. They came, and I remember just looking at these guys. They were really. Oh, turn us up, guys. Turn it on. Yeah. Right. So these young men came down to the last Milktray Motivation Live, and when I'm doing my thing at Motivation Live, I'm always looking in the crowd and seeing like the level of engagement, and it's always really good. But I'm not gonna lie, these two guys, and the thing is, what we noticed at the last Milktray Motivation Live, it was more men than we've ever had, ever. And these guys were there, and they were taking notes and doing their thing. I was like, yeah, I just like their vibe. So we spoke after the event, and I was like, you know what? They told me what they do, and I was like, you know what? Let me see what you guys were really about. And I had an idea, and we spoke earlier this week, and we're gonna put some bits and pieces into play, and we've already started putting it into action for next year. But I just wanted them to come and bless you this morning, because one thing I love about Milktray Motivation is not just about the motivation. It's not just about the Eric Thomases and the Les Browns and Steve Harvey. Like we got to talk about finance. We got to talk about business and all these kind of things. And Christmas is coming, and these guys are so clued up about finance. Yeah, I just thought that I need to get them on the show this morning. So I've got to big up the gentleman from Economy Street. Good morning, gent.
Good morning. How's it going? Bless. Thanks for having us on.
All good. Hold on, right. So somebody sounds a little bit faint. Is that Ollie?
Probably is. Oh.
Time this morning.
No problem.
So, now, can you just basically, so one of you decide to give them a little intro on what it is you do and why it's so important? No worries. Go ahead, Ola.
Cool. So Milktray. Yeah, as you've said, thanks for the intro. We're Economic Street, and we're all about educating the man on the street and the woman on the street about finance, money, economics, how the whole system works, so that not only can they protect themselves, especially when there's economic like situations, but they can better themselves. And we do that in a very calm, chilled, sophisticated, but smart way. In terms of we like to break things down. What we identified very early on was that when you watch news, it's complicated. It can go over your head so easily, and finance should not be complicated. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we're in work 8-9 hours a day for this thing, and we don't really fully understand it. So we need to be able to help people really, essentially understand how money works, number one, and then how to make the most of money. Because at the end of the day, that's what really dominates our lives, and that's essentially where we come in.
Now, what was it about it? Because I mean, even on Milktray's Motivation, I speak heavily about your passion, your calling. What is it about this section that is so passionate and so important to you guys?
I think there's a couple of things. Number one, I guess knowing that a lot of people in this country are in a bit of a financial mess. Like, there's some statistics that when you hear them, like how the average family has 13 grand worth of debt. Most people don't even have 1 month's worth of savings. So if they lose their jobs, they're in trouble. And it was things like this that really appealed to us. And me and Nick just sat down and we looked at it and we were like, we've got this background. We're both from a finance background. We're both economists. and why not try help people? I mean, there was a passion from us as well that we just really wanted to give back and help, and I guess that's where people need to. I mean, that's the beauty of life. It's about helping each other grow, and giving back through our gifts and talents that God has given us. So I think this for us was it.
Now,
Also, sorry to
you got also, yeah. Because I want to see it coming, bro.
what's hit home is that the millennial generation, which is our generation, are going to be one of the first generations to do worse than their parents' generation. I think due to the financial crisis and everything that's happened, our generation's worse off. So we're going to be the first generation to ever do worse than the previous generation in terms of finance, assets, getting on the housing ladder. There's so much things going on that due to the financial crisis has impacted our generation. So we want to impact and help the rest of our millennial generation and the future generations to come. Also, we're not discriminating, but that's what hit home is that our generation has been heavily impacted by the financial crisis.
Wow. So obviously, like, just listening to you talk, like, it comes across that you guys know a lot about finance. Now, is that something that, you're still working in? Because I know some of the listeners, they're thinking, like, you've got their attention right now. I know this. Yeah? So just give them a little brief kind of backtrack of where you come from and like where you guys are now within that financial sector.
Yeah, so I'll start with myself. So, as me and Ola met at university, we both did an undergrad degree in economics. I then left and went to do a master's in finance. After doing my master's in finance, I got a foot in the door in the financial sector, working at a corporate bank, and then from working at that corporate bank, I'm now working at the London Stock Exchange.
Hold on, say that again.
I'm now working at the London Stock Exchange.
We have to celebrate these things, because I can't say that in my network before I had somebody that could say that they're working there now. I can't really say that I have that. Like we got to salute that. Like we got to pick these things up. You know what I mean? So salute you, brother. So talk to me about your kind of your history, sir.
Okay, so bit of a similar background to Nick. As he said, we met at uni in Kent where we both did economics, and then he moved on to do a master's. He didn't even name drop the uni he went to, but he went to Queen Mary's. Yeah. he
So hold on. Right. Obviously he didn't name drop it. Can you just tell them like how significant that is? Because I know, but some people might not know.
Oh, that's one of the best unis in this country. That is, yeah, it's always like around top 10. So it's significant.
But don't forget where you went to do your master's.
Talk about it.
So I then moved on to do my masters at Cambridge, where I did economics. Milktray, you're gassing us up.
Sorry to cut you, but I just love to see and hear my people doing, I'm not even saying doing it right, but just doing big things like that. Like, it's a big thing.
Appreciate it.
You know what I mean? Like, yesterday, I was in this prison with these young guys and big man, and like, when we was talking, some of them were like, I'd love to be able to do that kind of thing. But I'm like, hearing you do it, you know what? Next year we're gonna get you in there.
We'll talk.
Because I'd love to for you guys to come and bring that message to them and let them know that there's them that look just like them that are doing that kind of thing. But anyway, sorry to that.
No worries. No, we would love to do that. So yeah, just hit us up anytime. So after my masters, I trained and qualified as a chartered accountant. So I worked with one of the top firms in the country for 3 years. While on the side I was investing as well and just really building up my knowledge. And then since then I've concentrated full time on Economic Street. And here we are.
So this is your full time
Yeah.
Hustle.
Yeah.
This is it. You know what, sir? I love that. Salute to that.
Thank you.
That leap of faith. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's good, man. It's tough, but
Yeah.
anybody that's done it, I salute them like wholeheartedly. So, because I know that struggle, bro. I know it. So, you guys are well educated. You're well experienced in finance and all these things. So, right now, we are coming to a financial period of time where everything is blown out of the water. It's Christmas. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, we was on the phone on Monday, and like, you lot said something to me that shook me up. I was like, what do you mean? Can you just drop that piece of knowledge, like, that you told me on Monday?
No, you
People need to know the difference between good and bad debt. So there is such a thing. And this is actually more Nick's forte, but what we're basically saying to you is that Christmas is a time where we overindulge. You know, we've got the good feel factor, but then we're paying the price afterwards, and there's no need to start off the new year on a bit of a wrong foot. So people, Eesh. Hello.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there, guys.
Oh, sorry. Are we back on?
No, not yet. I'm in it now.
Okay.
Hi, I don't know what happened there, guys. Sorry about that.
Don't worry, man. That goes live radio. Things pop down. Now, right. So, hold on, just get back into that, bro, please.
Get back into it. So basically, people need to understand that there's a difference between a need and a want. A want is something that you desire, and a need is basically something that you can't survive without, or you can't go without. And Christmas is one of them times that you tend to blur the lines a little bit because you know you love your fam, you love your people, but a lot of people take out debt to buy gifts for people that maybe even in a year's time people are not even using anymore. So people should be thinking carefully about getting into debt. Because if it's not good debt, which usually shopping is at Christmas time, then don't be doing it. The reason we say and that's just real talks. Nick, do you wanna do you wanna
Yeah, but I think what also is key, people should have been realizing that they should have been preparing for Christmas from the summertime.
Yeah.
So I think that's another key, is that in terms of, that's one of the things we teach in terms of how to budget, is because people have not put in those budgets for Christmas, so they just leave it like, they're like, oh gosh, it's November now, what am I going to do? But in essence, they should have been preparing for Christmas, especially if you're on tight budgets or smaller budgets. You should have been preparing for Christmas from back in the summer, or maybe even earlier. And that's one of the things that we go into schools and teach, and we've gone into schools, so like we've gone into Forest Hill Boys and taught them budgeting skills and taught them basic skills in terms of things that they can use for now and later in life. I think people just get to November, December time and think, oh, let's slap it on a credit card. And I said good debt and bad debt. But generally, Christmas is generally bad debt.
No, that to me, now the thing is, when somebody says it to you like the way you put it, it sounds like just common sense, isn't it? But we're so programmed to not think like that.
Exactly.
That we, a lot of people end up in the same rut every single year.
Yeah, that's correct. And the thing is, as you said, because we're programmed, it's so hard to unlearn something. So that's what we say. That's what we have to teach. Because not everything. Even I'm guilty of it sometimes myself. But what I say, the more you can budget, as I said, it's the less you can smooth out life. Because like I mean by volatility, reducing their up and downs and making those up and downs as smooth as you can possibly make them. As I say, we're all human at the end of the day as well. These are things that are hard to do, but these are what we want to give people the skills to be able to do.
Now, so looking at your Instagram page and your social media, like how is that connecting with the people? Because finance and money is something that is detrimental to most people. Very, very important, obviously. But what is it? What are the kind of nuggets that you're giving people on your socials?
Okay, I'll give you a few examples. We can tell people that, you know what, we've told you about bad debt. We can tell you about good debt. So good debt, I can tell you now that if you borrow money for cheap, you can invest that money. You can flip it and basically make debt work for you. That way you're building wealth, not just for yourself, but for future generations. So
Talk about it.
talk about it.
Hold on, because you said a few terms in there that got me excited.
All
You talked
right.
about flipping money, and then you talked about building legacies and investment for the next generation. Talk about it.
All right, let's break it down. So the first step is, let's say your bank or a credit card can lend to you at 3% or 4%. If you can find an investment that will pay you more than 4% interest, you're winning. It's as simple as that. It's a maths game. So the whole point is to be one up on the system, and this is a way of make using the financial system to your advantage to start, build. What we mean by building a legacy is building something to leave behind for your kids and your grandkids, because that's the name of that's the aim of the game. That's what we all want to do in life, is just to basically leave something for our family that they can, then carry on down the lines after we're long gone. So that's just one of the nuggets we give people.
Now, with regards to like that scenario, now the average listener listening this morning would probably be saying, "All right, cool, I can get that from the bank or whatever." But what would be that investment that would be that 4% or whatever? Like, where would I find that kind of investment?
So this is something else that we do on a YouTube channel. So we talk about the type of investment that you can go. Because especially in this time, it's quite hard, as I said, to find those investments with the 4 or 5%. But there's different avenues out there, such as mutual funds and government bonds. So these are the things that on our channel we discuss different types of investments and different investments that you can look into to then try and build up that wealth. Because being realistic as well, people need to have patience as well. So even if it is you're getting the returns of 4%, which is more than what you borrowed at 3%, people are not always willing to be patient. And that's the thing with the financial markets as well. It's not a quick game. Some people want to, because you hear stories of people where I've been on the exchange, I've made money in a month. It's not really like that. It's a long-term strategy and a long-term game. So you need to be patient enough to be able to wait for those returns to mature for you.
See that, people? Are you listening? These men know what they're talking about, I wouldn't just bring them on the show if I didn't know that they know what they're talking about. Muck about. So, gentlemen, we had an idea earlier this week, and I'm bringing Milktray's Motivation back. Milktray's Motivation Live 2018. And next year we're going to be doing specific topics. So it's not going to be just as general as it has been for like the last year and a half, nearly 2 years. So next year we're going to be doing some, and I would love for you guys to be, heavily involved in the first one that we do next year, because I want it to be about finance and all these things, because obviously we're coming up to Christmas, and then everybody says January, Lord Jesus, McCann, Lord, I'm in the bully. Yeah, can't go buy a couple tin of mackerel. No. So what we're saying is, like, we might not be able to change that scenario because it's so close. But what I want to do is start planting some seeds early part of next year, so that
I think we are, yeah, man. Definitely hit us up. We're here for you. So
Because this show is not just about the music and the mixing and all that. It's for the community, and that's why I've been given this platform, and I think what you guys are doing is absolutely amazing, and I think it's only right that you get the coverage and the support from the community because you're doing it, for them, and making sure that everybody in turn can eat well. And when I say eat well, I don't mean like food wise, I mean financially be in a better position, and it's very, very important. So what I want you guys to do is just drop your socials, man. Give them the I mean, I'm looking at your Instagram right now. It's already gone up.
I saw that. I saw that.
Now, I did tell you, didn't I? I said to you on Monday, yeah, once you come on this show, your Instagram following is going to go up. So give them the socials because people are already listening and thinking, you know what? These guys sound, one, they know what they're talking about. Two, they sound genuine. And that's what I said to you guys. Because when we're talking about finance and money, people are very skeptical about that. So that's
True.
why I wanted you guys to come on the show because then people could, feel your vibe. You know what I mean? Because people will be like, well, I can't be taking no advice from some very, very dead man. But you lot come on this morning and, you put yourselves out there. And I know I've got messages, I can see them already. People are like, yeah, I need their information. So give them the socials, please. The YouTube, everything.
Go on, Ola. Media, man.
Cool. Yeah, so you can catch us on Economic Street, literally two words joined together, economic and street. And we're on Instagram, we're on the Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, Twitter, literally same name tag, same user. Like just search Economic Street and all our stuff will come up. And yeah, just hit us up anytime. We always have people hitting us up with questions, so we're here for that. We're happy to help.
You see that, people? You see what I've exposed to you now? Watch. Just what? No, give it to them again, right? I'm gonna do a screenshot now. We're at 250 on we're on 250 on the Instagram. Listeners, come on, yeah. These men are good people, and they're doing great things, and they know what they're talking about. We've got to support them. Let's get that up. Let's see if we can get that up to like nearer the 300. Yeah. Let's see if we can get that nearer to the 300. We're at 250 right now. So give them the info again, please.
Appreciate it. It's Economic Street, all one word, Economic and Street, and that's us on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and we've got a website of the same names. So hit us up. And that's actually one thing I forgot to mention. We drop some gems every month on our website. We send out a newsletter. So just all you have to do is plug in your email on the website and you will get that straight to your inbox every month at the end of the month. And it will tell you everything that's been happening and breaks it down for you as to how it's going to affect you. So you don't want to miss that because we drop stuff in that people don't get on the Instagram or the Facebook. That one is exclusive. But you have to sign up.
Now, there was one topic we spoke about on the phone, Brexit. Now,
Yep.
for some people, the general, average person that listens and, they don't really understand really what it is. Like, I'll be honest, I don't really, but that's why I've got you, man, in my corner. You know what I mean? So, just kind of just drop a little bit on how you guys think or see that Brexit is going to affect us in the UK.
Well, Brexit's already affecting us at the moment. So,
Okay.
when we announced that we're going to leave the European Union, we saw that the value of the pound fell.
Mm-hmm.
What that's done, the value of the pound falling, has then made us as British economy to import products from the rest of Europe, the USA, etc., more expensive. And by making that more expensive, that has slowly made inflation go up. So inflation is the average of when prices increase, sorry. So that's inflation. So as we just saw now, I think it was reported on the news yesterday that inflation is currently 3%. So that means that basically it's made so if you go to Tesco's, you want to buy an apple, that apple is more expensive than it was last month. So say it could have been 50p last month, and now it's 65p. So the consequences of us saying that we're leaving the EU has made the value of the pound fall, which has then made goods more expensive for us to import. Or if you're going on holiday, you don't get as much currency for your holiday money, which is then fed through into the system through inflation, and which makes it so petrol's more expensive, food's more expensive. So we've already felt the consequence of saying that we're going to leave the EU. But then also, that ties into the interest rates. So as we saw last month, the Bank of England, they are the bank that regulate the financial sector. So they regulate the commercial banks, say NatWest, HSBC, etc. They raised the base rate from 0.25% to 0.5%. So the reason why they've done that is to try and reduce the amount that inflation's gone up by. Of course, it's an ongoing cycle. So there's things that are already happening that are due to Brexit. So by them trying to control the interest rate, that has a knock-on effect in terms of the rate that banks lend you, your credit cards, your mortgages. All of these have a knock-on effect. So if the interest rates, the Bank of England are increasing interest rates, that means the commercial banks, your HSBCs, your NatWest, will also increase their interest rates. By increasing their interest rates, that has a knock-on effect on your pocket. Because then if you've got a mortgage, that's a variable mortgage or a tracker mortgage, your mortgage payments will now be more expensive. So that has an indirect effect on your pocket then, because now your disposable income's reduced. So these things, because of Brexit, we're already feeling the effects of Brexit, and we've not even fully left yet.
People, don't you just love it when man them know exactly what they're talking about? I'm just sitting here and I'm listening to you talk, and I'm like, yeah, this is what we need. We need some man them that actually know about finance and all these things. This is amazing. Now, people, do you think that this is something we need to do, like maybe once a month? Get the guys on the phone, you know, like what's that guy on Good Morning Britain? What's his name?
Martin Lewis.
Martin Lewis. Yeah, I want to try and get you guys on maybe one week. Nick, you're on, Ola, you're on the next week or whatever. Like we can do it like that, or we can get you both on. Like I think moving into 2018, if we're gonna elevate the shows and the glorious full breakfast show, like I want to be incorporating stuff like this, man, because it's important.
Sounds good.
Yeah, definitely. We're down for that.
I'm down. Now, gentlemen, I'm looking at your Instagram following. When we started, you on the phone, you was at 249. You're now 267. Just saying.
Big up.
I'm just saying. People, let's support this. I'm going to get this up on my Instagram. I want you to go and follow the man them and get this thing moving. Get in contact with them. If you've got any questions, anything like that. Because come next year, yeah, when they think popping and you got to go to the office to go and check them, and you got to book appointment and you got to pay for that service. Let's get into that mind frame right now, yeah, because we can't be doing these things for free forever, yeah. Because these men have got families, they got responsibilities, they got bills to pay for. But the way I see it, if somebody's good at their job and they know what they're doing, then I'm happy to pay. And that's what I like about you, man. Yeah. So I'm letting the listeners know. Don't be coming and checking these man next year now and then also like just quickly. Let's book an appointment. Let's talk about this. Yeah. Because you can be their personal financial advisors on all these things, but these things don't come for free. That's what our community's got to realise. These things don't come for free. Yeah. You go and speak to any proper finance, like you sit down with a financial advisor. Yeah. Cool, here you go. Here's my invoice.
Real talk.
You got to be willing to spend money, and but it's still what it is. You're investing money. Yeah. You're investing your money when you come and sit down with these guys. Yeah, because No, sorry, I had to just put it out there.
Nah, it's true. You're talking real talk.
No, I had to just put it out there. Like, it's cool. Like, I love the fact that people are gonna, follow the gram and check your videos, and and I know that people will buy into you because you guys are genuine. Your stuff is of a high standard. The quality of your videos, they'll buy into you. I know that for a fact. But when I'm saying to people, support, I don't just mean by clicking a button. Like, if there's a point and you want some advice, maybe later on, it might be 4 months down the line, it might be a year down. Chat to the man then, but make sure when they chat to you and they say, well, like, bro, boom, let's sit down and talk about it. This is the fee. Don't push up the face. Nah. Man got bills to pay and pick this fee. That's lying. I want this father. My gentlemen, look, let me not keep you because I know full-time jobs and stuff got to work. But, fellas, thank you so much for taking the time out this morning.
No problem. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. Big up.
No, man. And definitely, like, next month we'll get you back on because I know Christmas will be upon us. You can drop some little gems on them and all that. And then moving forward, 2018, we're going to have you guys on the show at least maybe once, twice a month. Just dropping some knowledge on the people. And then we just keep this thing moving. And then, the first quarter of 2018, we're going to have Milktray's Motivation Live in conjunction with Economic Studio. You know what I mean?
Sounds good.
Sounding good, man.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Have a great day, yeah?
And you too, yeah?
Stay blessed.
We'll speak soon.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.